What's up, everybody? So today I was in a conversation in my Black Love group, and I was told in a conversation about a woman's value, who am I to judge her value? Now, I do understand that self-esteem is a very important thing. However, I want y'all to understand something. What you value in yourself is not very important to someone that is looking to bring you into their life and to add value to your life. Here's the reason why. You are constantly expecting someone to look at you and see what you see in yourself. But they have the right to choose to look at you and judge you based off of whether they want to invest their time, money, and effort into you. All right? They have that right, just like you have the right as women. And that was more so a thing where it's now believed that men have no right to judge a woman, and that's why they don't feel like they have to answer questions like, what is it that you bring to the table? Who are you? What do you do? What can you add to my life? All right? That is the mindset. Now, like I said, self-value is very important. But that's how you look at yourself. And if you're a prospective partner of mine, or a prospective girlfriend, or we're on a date or whatever, it is my job and responsibility to myself to see if you're going to be beneficial to me and how you would be beneficial to me. See, we have somehow forgotten that relationships are supposed to be mutually beneficial. That's right. Two people who engage in a relationship don't have to bring the same things to the relationship, but they need to complete each other and be heading in the same direction. Now, with all of that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is growth. Now, the crazy thing about it is, what do we hold against people the most? God-given attributes. And that's a very sad thing. Why? You may ask. Because what you were given by God is what God assigned you. Alright? You had no choice in that matter. Alright? So many people out here are talking about self-love and how they love themselves with fake boobies and fake asses. That's not self-love. You see these people going on TV and going on podcasts who have enhanced their bodies, talking about how they love themselves. You don't love yourself if you don't accept yourself. Alright? The one thing that we don't judge each other on is things that we actually have control over. Mike Tyson said on a recent podcast, and it's funny, I'm quoting Mike Tyson, y'all. He said that it is harder to be a good person than a great person. And that basically means when you're great at something that you do. But when you're a good person, you just are a good person. That is your nature. That is who you are. People, you look for the best situation at all times for all parties that are involved. That is what's being a good person. Which is more important to you? You see, we don't talk about character. We don't talk about personality traits. We don't talk about who you are no more. Because people want to hide behind what we see, what we are able to see. And we think that should be enough, that should suffice. But we see our relationships crumbling early because you lean on that way too much. We see our relationships go from being great, as I've stated in the past, that a relationship, if you look at our relationships nowadays and you look at it in reverse, that it resembles a fairy tale. Meaning your happy ending comes at the beginning. The highest point of your relationship comes at the beginning. The best part of your relationship comes at the beginning. And then you start a steady decline. Because those things that brought you to the table hold no value for a length of time. Because just as when you buy a new car, that car is how beautiful that car is when you first get it. At some point, the decline starts to happen to where you appreciate the car for its personality, the fact that it doesn't break down, the fact that it gets you from point A to B, the fact that it doesn't run hot, the fact that your motor runs, the fact that it does its job. And all of a sudden, it's almost like going out to that car, and there's just seats, motor. There ain't even a body to it. So much so that you would wash your car when you got it the first day that you were off, every time that you were off. Every 3-4 days or so. And then later on, that just dwindles. And all of a sudden, now you're washing your car every week. Then it's every 2 weeks. Then it's just when you get around to it. See, that's what your looks are. So you only can hang your hat on that for so long. That's what every measurable that you have, or that you measure somebody by, that's what it does, because eventually you're going to get used to it. The biggest dick in the world will become normal to you if that's all you're fucking. You get that? Things like what y'all call big dick energy. I just realized that just basically means you're attracted to two dudes that treat you like you're nothing, like they are really mean to you. And you just made it into something that just sounds positive. When just listening to how women talk about it, that's what it is. Carefree, could care less, nonchalant. Those are things that big dick energy are associated with. So then, when you chase those things, how in the world could you ever think that there's a good man out there when that's the type of man that you like? Same thing with dudes. You keep hanging your hat on the aesthetics, and I get it. Like, you want a pretty girl. But then you cheat on a woman because she had your baby and she gained some pounds. Whatever the case may be. Or she's not as impressive to you after a little bit of time. So now you're looking for the new and improved thing. See, we used to value the things that come with relationship. We used to have, like, these things used to hold value. All the love and respect and emotion that you get from a relationship, those things used to hold value. The fact that you could laugh and enjoy each other, those things used to hold value. The fact that you mesh with this person's personality, not that you think alike, act alike, or whatever the case may be, but the way that you act can actually coexist with the way that they act. Those are things that we used to value, and now those things don't even matter. We don't even talk about those things. But you know what we constantly talking about? Who has the big dick? Who has big titties? Who has big asses? Who has the most money? Who has such and such? And it's an unfair scale, as I've said on several of my videos. It's an unfair scale because there are actually numbers that men have to live up to in order to make you happy. And for us, as men, it's just basically whether you're great, good, excellent, bad, worse, terrible, is those things. So men really have no choice but to branch off and say, there are no measurables that I can hold this woman accountable to. I don't care about her height. I don't care if she doesn't have to be 6 inches shorter than me. She doesn't have to be um, a, a 38 double D or whatever. We can compromise on that. Where's her heart? Before I say, boom, this is the one, or this is not the one. So why can't I ask you questions to find out where your heart is at the beginning? Why can't I get your answers and then hold them up against your actions and see if they match? Just questions. Show off.